think it's a good memory for everyone. We do it in some countries and certain places. And I think it's like a nice memory instead of just having a tour shirt where all the dates are printed on the back. It's a nice souvenir. Well, yes, I do actually. I do resist and I do bite. But I'm normally a very nice person, so it takes a very long time for me to actually bite. I like it. It's a nice, fast-on heavy metal album. And I would say Carolus Rex, the one before that, it was a little bit more slow and epic and symphonic maybe, while Heroes is more straight-on heavy metal. And actually, there is not a single song I hate yet. I haven't done any songs that we couldn't play live. I mean, we can for sure play every song we ever did. On the other hand, if I look back in our career, there are some songs that are not so good, so they shouldn't be played live. Unfortunately, I guess it's true, because it's you can't really relate to a number. You can only relate to a name or a face. So unfortunately, I guess it is kind of true. And it's one of the reasons we decided to go this way we did with Heroes and focus on the individual or the small group instead of the big picture. Because unfortunately it is. I think so, yes. Some people seem to have a romanticized version of war in their head, and I haven't seen it myself, obviously. First, being Swedish, we were always neutral, but I have met enough army veterans from everything from Afghanistan today to Iraq to Vietnam people to people who were actually fighting in World War II. And no, I don't. It's unfortunate that people still have a romanticized version of warfare, and I think anyone who signs up to be a soldier will be disillusioned very quickly. No, I like to be on the edge. Not to provoke, but if a song is about a heavy subject or a controversial person, still we do it. I mean, we have a song about how Adolf Hitler came to power in Germany. And, many promoters or record labels were very worried, but the heavy metal fans is never the problem. They're usually much smarter than they have credit for. That would be very fun, actually. I have quite a few orchestral pieces of music lying around, both in my head and on my computer. So one day, yes, I'll hope so. A book with a very boring first half, I guess. Yeah, it would be, I don't know what I'd name it, but I know it wouldn't be very much fun in the beginning, because the way, when I grew up as a kid, it was neither so bad, it's worth making a good story, but it's not so fantastic it makes a good story either. I had a fortunate, alright upbringing, so I think not much of interest would happen until we are in, my late teens, early 20s. It could be very different, but I would probably do very passive or very active, depending on how I felt. Either I would just be at home, the other day could be out in the mountains, climbing, doing stuff like that. It's not really dangerous, but it's certainly adventurous, jumping bungee jumps, stuff like that. But it's not that dangerous. I mean, it's more dangerous to cross the street in London. I mean, for sure, one of them is Australia. Very different. We played there in early 2013, so it's 2 years ago now. And the difference of everything. I mean, the world is upside down up there. I didn't actually see any spiders. I was expecting, dangerous spiders and snakes everywhere. We didn't see any of that. We came down in January, so it's summer for them. It's just brilliant. We took a road trip for, I think, about a 1,000-kilometer road trip. And on the way in the evenings we would see wild kangaroos jumping along the road, and then you're staying in the night and you see two evil eyes in the trees, like what the fuck is that? And there's a small koala bear sitting there. Okay, yeah. So that made an impact because it's so different to what I'm used to. There are many ways of leadership, and what makes a great leader. Is it what he achieved, or is it what people thought of him? So I think there's not one style of good leader. There are different ways of getting things done. In a way, somebody who is a very good boss towards his employees or to his troops doesn't have to be the best general, but even though he's nice. The ones that have usually commanded most respect, as I've learned in military history, are the ones who are really hard, but also very fair. So in a sense, I agree with that. Well, I will be speaking German. Obviously, there will be a lot less Jewish people alive. Maybe my mother wouldn't have been born. She's from the Czech Republic, and according to Nazi ideology, she is subhuman. And so, yeah, I wouldn't exist probably, or at least she wouldn't have met my father. It's totally different. You can never judge anyone with the facts you have today on the decisions they made then. What people forget is most places in the civilized world now, maybe they don't have total freedom of speech or freedom of press, but you can almost always find out the truth. In 1939 or in the 30s, 40s, even earlier, as you said, World War I, what you knew was what was in the magazine, or what people told you, and then in World War II, the radio had come. In a sense, you couldn't make a fair judgment, because I'm quite sure that the young men who went into Poland on the 1st of September 1939, they were told by Adolf Hitler through Joseph Goebbels that Germany had been attacked by the Polish, now we must strike back. So what do you think they feel? They want to go in and kill every Polish person because they think they have attacked them. So propaganda is a powerful instrument, and I think it's really hard to judge somebody from 70, or in World War I case, 100 years in the past, knowing what you know today without thinking of what was the information or data they had available at their hands. I don't know, that would be politics. I don't like political or religious propaganda. What's going on today is in a sense politics. It will be history in a time, and war is a consequence of usually failing politics. I'm not too interested actually, but on the other hand, I'm not too worried either. Starting a war today is a PR disaster. Lots of fun. I expect to have a lot of fun. We have a tank with us on stage, a real tank, and then we got a little bit of everything. We got some mechanized stuff that will appear later in the show. So it's the first time we're actually in Romania with full stage production. So.